welcome to the show, movie freaks. Tonight's episode is filled with contradictions. Max meets Christmas, Jesse James meets Frankenstein's daughter, and perhaps the strangest of all, Santa Claus conquers the Martians. You heard me. Those are all real movie titles. Bear in mind that they were made for less cynical audiences. Audiences who appreciated their movies as much as they appreciated their monsters.
Jeepers creepers, eh? Pretty risque language for 1948. Which, folks, is when this movie trailer was made.
But rises every night at sunset. Chick is right. This is awful.
Now, we haven't seen Bud Abbott yet, but we will. There he is, the gaunt, worried-looking guy playing the straight man to Lou Costello as usual. They really were the biggest comic stars of their day.
Come on, take it all out.
As you can see, there are knockabout comedy routines galore.
The nation's top comics, Abbott and Costello. Petrified, but hilariously. Stop! Plus the dangerous and terrifying Wolfman, played by Lon Chaney. Plus that fiend out of a nightmare, the vampire Batman, Count Dracula, played by Bela Lugosi. Plus the most dreaded creature of them all, the Frankenstein monster, played by Glenn Strange.
The Wolfman, Dracula, and Frankenstein. Yes, folks, the gang's all here.
Females in the spookiest laugh fest on record.
The spookiest laugh fest on record. Ladies and gentlemen, the Scary Movie 6 of its day. Only if you ask us down here at Midnight Movies headquarters, we tell you which we prefer. They don't make them like they used to.
Abbott and Costello would go on to meet the Mummy, the Invisible Man, and also make a trip to Mars. But it wasn't only in comedies where you'd find Fu Manchu on a double bill with Jekyll and Hyde, or werewolves mixing it up with aliens. Some of these films were actually meant to be taken, well, seriously. Exhibit A, ladies and gentlemen. Not Jesse James meets Frankenstein. Jesse James meets Frankenstein's daughter.
Jesse.
In case it isn't obvious, that was Jesse James, and this isn't Frankenstein's daughter, but a Mexican Spitfire named Juanita. Oh yeah, very arts and crafts. Native Americans, if that is the correct nomenclature, in a ride-by that certainly looks impressive, but is just kind of set dressing. Their storyline doesn't particularly go anywhere, which is a shame. Because by the end of this film, you might be wishing that they stuck around to scalp some of the characters.
You saved my life, Jesse.
Technically, you did save her life, but it wasn't particularly heroic, was it? He just pulled her into the bushes. He didn't take on the engine single-handedly with a Bowie knife or something. Now, Jesse James had crossed the border into Mexico on the run from the law as usual when one of his gang got shot by one of those aforementioned Native Americans. Not long after he met Juanita. You might call it a full day. Anyway, they decided to seek help at the local mad scientist's place. That's the house up on the hill, folks.
There's where the doctors are. This is our home. I wait here.
You know how to use one of these?
Yes.
Help me brighten, Juanita.
I'm not. Now that you're here, I'll be waiting for you.
This is a plot hole you could drive a truck through. Even though Juanita is supposed to be terrified of Frankenstein's place, she still advises Jesse to take his wounded pal Hank up to the spooky house on the hill where Lady Dr. Frankenstein is believed to be conducting weird experiments and illegal operations. The big guy slumped in the saddle. Well, that's Hank, of course. As you can see, he's a big fella. And actually, he's not much better company when he's wide awake. Knock, knock. Who's there? Jesse James. Get out of here. It's the Jehovah's Witnesses again, isn't it?
Who is it? You want to see the doctor? We want to see the doctor. My friend is badly hurt.
Who sent you to us?
A girl by the name of Juanita.
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 Yes, come on, you're wasting time.
Just a minute.
Now watch this walk across the room. Half of this movie is made up of people walking one way or the other across that room. Because that's what people like to see in the movies. People walking across rooms to answer the door. Yeah, right. Anyway, stand by. Ludicrous dialogue
Police
alert.
here, hundreds of miles from nowhere. You are a fool.
The girl Juanita is back.
Juanita. He likes Juanita. Can you tell? You
Afraid of
wretch.
an ignorant girl. I shall take care of it.
Again with walking across the room. Door answered.
What happened?
You're the doctor?
Yes.
Yes, she's
my
the
brother and I
doctor.
are both doctors. What happened?
Well, he shot himself cleaning his gun.
Yeah, well, that's obvious. He spilled tomato juice on his shirt, and he's very upset about it. No, let's say that. He shot himself cleaning his gun. Let's stick with that story, even though it's completely implausible.
Maria, I believe that...
Rudolph, the laboratory.
Rudolph, the laboratory. Now that's just the beginning of the beautiful relationship between Maria Frankenstein and Jesse James. Soon Maria Frankenstein has Jesse James right where she wants him. On his back. That's right, on his back on an operating table with tubes coming out of him.
Save your strength, Jesse James. You will need it.
Whoa, what does she have in mind?
I knew who you were from the very first. You see, we have something in common. We're both outside the law. That's why I offered you a chance to join me. But you chose to refuse me.
That's right.
You, an
Earlier,
outlaw.
Lady Maria
You,
Frankenstein
me,
puts
Maria
the moves on
Frankenstein,
Jesse
granddaughter
James,
of
but he
Count.
refuses her. Still had his heart set on Juanita, you
My
see.
next experiment.
Next experiment.
See, Jesse
Well, you know what they say. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
Where's Hank?
Well, he ain't Hank anymore. He's Igor. A fine name for a boy, I might add. But yeah, by this point in the film, she's lobotomized Hank and turned him into her love
Sweet
slave.
dreams, Jesse James.
She's magnificent when she's angry.
Juanita.
So that's what happens when Jesse James meets Frankenstein's daughter. But what happens when Santa Claus meets the Martians? Even if you don't want to know, you're about to find out. This charming little pic has been voted one of the worst films of all times. But critics, what do they know?
Say, Santa, what have we here?
These are new dolls. Now, this little doll walks.
Yeah, they're even allowed to stay up and watch Max's midnight movies some nights.
Almost like a real, live little girl.
The little girl, that's the one on the right, is played by Pia Zadora, who went on to enjoy her 15 minutes of fame in Hollywood.
What is a doll? I don't know, Gilmar. What is tender loving care? I don't know either.
Bomar, Gilmar. I told you not to watch those silly Earth programs. Now go to sleep.
Must we go to sleep now, Father? I want to see Santa Claus some more. I want to see more toys.
No, go to sleep.
That's right, kids. Listen to your father. We don't want desensitized creatures from watching all that ridiculous violence and mindlessness on television. The time, 1964. The place, planet Mars. The leaders of the planet, concerned that their children don't seem to be getting any fun out of life, call on the ancient Eldar Chochem for help. And here he is now, a few minutes late, but he was on a conference call with Venus.
Hold me, Kimar.
We need your advice, Chochem. Something is wrong with our children. They eat not, they sleep not. Their only interest is watching meaningless Earth programs on the video.
Wait, sounds familiar. Better make sure they never see Facebook.
Is it now?
It is the middle of September.
No.
September?
Not here.
Oh,
I mean on Earth. Ah, yes. It is early December on Earth. Close to the time of the Christmas.
yeah, as everyone in the universe knows.
That explains it.
What is a Christmas?
Yeah, the best questions are dumb ones.
Occasion for great joy and peace on the planet Earth.
Wait, this must have been a prototype to Yoda.
For children, it is also a time of anticipation as they await the arrival of Santa Claus and his gifts.
Bah, what nonsense. What has this to do with our children, Ancient One?
We have no children on Mars. They have children's bodies, but with adult minds. They do not have a child's I see this coming for centuries. They are born. Our electronic teaching machines are attached to their brains while they are in their cradles. Information is fed into their minds in a constant stream. And by the time they can walk, they are adults.
Oh, that's so sad.
They've never played.
That is so sad. I mean, how tragic. Though I have to say, they just sound like modern-day Earthling kids to me.
No,
Anyway, the Martian leader is so stirred by this very moving performance and decides to bring the fun factor back to young life on Mars by abducting Santa Claus and bringing him back to the angry red planet, as one does.
What it means to have fun.
Turn to fifth power. See if we can locate Santa Claus. He wears a red suit, trimmed with white fur, and he has a long white beard.
Well, put out an APB. See if you can get a positive visual ID. And gag me with a spoon.
Wait a minute. I see him. I see Santa Claus.
Okay. That looked like 1960s Manhattan Woolworth Santa. Of course, the 60s was very, very hard on America financially and lots of unemployment. This one looks like Brooklyn dime store Santa to me, a little frayed around the edges.
I see another one. Well, there are hundreds of Santa Clauses down there. Are we going to bring them all back with us to Mars? Just one. And with so many, they won't miss one.
Isn't that special? This meets that flicks can't get any stranger than Santa Claus conquers the Martians. Although right now it looks like the Martians are set out to conquer Santa Claus. In which case every day would be Halloween. Stay tuned to our Silly Earth program, Humanoids, to find out what happens next. Welcome back, Midnight Movie Lovers. Tonight we're looking at some very special This Meets That flicks. The main course for the evening is the unbelievable Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Now you may think the title kind of gives it away, but the interesting thing is how he conquers the Martians. With joy and laughter. At this point in the story, the Martians land somewhere in upstate New York, intent on finding a Santa Claus, any Santa Claus, even if it's just a department store Santa Claus.
The Defense Department believes that the object spotted on our radar screens
Modern-day Hansel and Gretel.
which burned up when it entered our atmosphere. Professor Werner von Green
Professor Werner von Green, yeah?
is still convinced it was a Martian spaceship. Stay tuned for further bulletins.
Billy, what does a Martian
I think you can probably see where this is going. That's right. This is a comedy, after all.
I don't believe there are any Martians. You don't, huh? What would you do if a Martian walked right up behind you? I scream.
Hey, here they are. As so cleverly foreshadowed in the dialogue. But no one could have predicted that groovy soundtrack, though.
You and your imagination. Come on, let's go home. Who are you?
We're from Mars. Don't be afraid. We have children just like you on Mars.
What are those funny things sticking out of your head?
Those are our antennae.
Are you a television set?
Stupid question. Is this what you want to do to our children on Mars?
In case you haven't figured it out yet, this dude with the 1970s heavy metal band mustache is kind of the bad guy.
Billy Foster, sir. And this is my sister Betty.
Perhaps you can help us, Billy. We're looking for one of your Santa Clauses.
There's only one Santa Claus.
We've seen many of them in your cities.
Oh, those are his helpers. There's only one real Santa Claus, and he's in his workshop up at the North Pole.
That's what we came here to find
Now,
out.
Billy's in a tight fix now. Imagine being known as the kid who sold out Santa Claus to the Martians.
What? Leave them here to inform the authorities?
He's right, Kemal. We better take them along with us to the North Pole.
Close your mouths so you'll catch a fly in there.
Very well. Come along.
He doesn't like us. Come on.
You'd think being prisoner aboard a Martian spaceship would be more like a high-security facility. But no, these two meddling kids are put in a pathetic little broom closet of a holding room inside the Martian craft. Once they land in the North Pole, the kids escape pretty easily from the Martians, especially that nasty piece of work Voldar. And now, thanks to Max's Midnight Movies, he can be proud again, or at least his grandchildren can. The kids are recaptured again soon, though. But first, it's important that you see this. Wait for it. Wait for it. That's what I'm talking about. And Voldar is out of there as fast as his green-stockinged feet will take him. Yeah, that got rid of him. But do we get another look at the Midnight Movies polar bear? I'm really hoping we do.
He ran away, but boy, that was a narrow escape. Why did he run away? I don't know. Uh-oh.
And it's so rare to get a look at one of these in the wild. The bogus polar bear. Costumus ridiculous. A very rare and endangered species. Pretty spectacular man versus beast stuff here. Anyway, just thought it was important you saw this magnificent specimen in the wild. Now, polar bears are actually known to swim hundreds of miles in Arctic waters to get a meal. But in this case, this particular polar bear can't get through a hole to get to these two kids.
Dog, follow me.
The Martians have discovered Santa's workshop and have decided to send in their secret weapon. Yes, the washing machine on legs, I mean. It's the ultimate weapon of terror, the Tin Man, on loan from a touring repertory production of The Wizard of Oz. Heartless, metallic, tinny, and very, very silly indeed.
You can't come in here. No one's allowed.
Where did you come from? You're the biggest toy I've ever seen.
Don't get cute with me, fat man.
And very well made, too.
By the great dog Star, Santa's treating him like a toy.
Correction. Santa's not treating him like his toy. Santa's treating him like his biatch.
We'll have to get Santa.
Anyway, not so little green dudes, isn't it time you broke this up? Ah, now that's thinking. Little adventure soundtrack.
What have we here? More toys?
Those are Martians.
Santa Claus, you're coming with us.
No, you can't take him now. It's too near Christmas.
Quiet, you.
But
Well, looks like he must have set his phaser to stun, which seems out of character. Poor old Voldar. He wishes he was in an R production. PG-13 at least. After a quick flight across approximately 200 million miles of space in a sardine can, the Martian leader, Kimar, finally arrives back home.
Oh, Kemal. Are you alone?
No.
He's brought those meddling kids with him, too, who, as you'll remember, I pointed out were captured again just as easily as they'd escaped.
Welcome to our home.
There's someone else, too. Come on in.
And last but not least, here he is, the man in the red suit. Yeah, okay, finally. Ho, 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 there it is.
I'm not accustomed to entering people's homes through the door, but you have no chimney.
Welcome, Santa Claus. We hope you'll make the children on Mars very happy.
Santa does his best to cheer up the little green boys and girls from Mars. With the help of the kids from Earth, he builds a Martian Santa's workshop, and soon they're in business making toys. Clearly, neither the Martians nor the filmmakers were much troubled by the religious implications of Christmas while mounting this superb production. In any case, not everybody was thrilled with the new Christmas spirit, least of all, the scheming Martian Voldar.
This time I'll take care of Santa Claus for good. And smash that machine.
This time I'll take care of Santa Claus for good, huh? Those who eavesdrop never hear anything good about themselves.
They're coming to get you.
Oh, they are.
Do you think you could speak up a bit more? There are people on Pluto who didn't hear you.
To have some fun with our toys, and we'll see that they do. Won't we, kids?
Why does Santa have a New York accent? That gun looks an awful lot like a blow dryer.
Oh, we meet again, eh?
Not to ruin the scene for you or anything, I note that Santa is a smoker, and someone must have been smoking something when they dreamt this one
Why
up.
don't you, relax?
You're going to relax permanently.
Actually, the playful, light-hearted music works marvelously as a juxtaposition to the torturous suspense of this nail-biting action scene. Here comes the heavy artillery. Clearly Voldar, whilst a Martian of no small distinction in the field of combat, hadn't reckoned on such a sustained and coordinated attack from Santa Claus and a bunch of little children. Otherwise, don't you think he'd have brought a few others, like, reinforcement Martian bad guys along with him? Just to be sure, as a precaution. Safety in numbers and all that sort of thing. Well, now. I guess this latecomer, little green man, is actually the bad guy's reinforcement. Just exactly what is the population of Mars anyway?
Look, you're not here. You're in there. Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm not here. I'm in there. Wait a minute. I'm going to see who...
Oh, my goodness. These guys must have taken a page from the classic comedy routines of the 20s and 30s. Yeah.
What's going on there? But I'm going to take care of you myself. Now, just a minute. I'd like to talk to...
Help at last. Better be careful, punk. This blow dryer's loaded.
Inside, Stovall.
All right, kids, you can stop now. I said ceasefire!
Ceasefire? What is this? Like the West Bank or something? Oh, God. Whack, 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 whack.
All right, Rigna, take them away. They've had a rough day.
Somebody get the hook. Let's get these guys off stage.
Ho, 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 everybody! Merry Christmas!
You don't need me here, Kima. You've got a wonderful Santa Claus of your...
I want whatever was in that pipe.
There you have it. Predictably, Santa conquers the Martians, and they all stand around and have a good laugh. Ho, ho, ho. That's all the Santa I can take in one go. So good night, and may every night be Halloween.